They had no call, no reason to make the prosecutor's sister so hot. How are you? How's life? Isn't life so great? Isn't life so great, you guys? Oh no. Let me try a thing real quick. Does the chat become smaller when I do this? It does, right? Why does it do that? That's so weird. That's so weird. Oh, okay. It is Thursday. This is true. This much is true. Oh damn, thank you for the follow. What is going on? You haven't started your stream yet. That's crazy. I feel like, do you start? So many clip followers. I got some bomb clips. What can I say? This is so fucking loud in my ears right now. I get that the music's good, but god dang. Got a few hours before I start. Oh, well. Few hours well spent. Welcome to Ace Attorney, the marathon, the movie, the compilation, the descent into madness. I am Sisyphus, and this is my stone. The Apollo Justice-centric trilogy, where Apollo is always around, and the main character. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, this case we were doing, by the way, as a tiny bit of a recap. I think more than anything for Rune, because you weren't here yesterday. The victim in this case is Apollo's childhood friend, Clay Terran, dead, stabbed with a knife through his spacesuit. He's an astronaut. Such a cold intro. Thank you. But one must imagine Sisyphus happy. The act of defiance against Bezos is enough to keep Sisyphus happy. As long as he is pushing that rock up against the Twitch algorithm, he is content. In any case, he was Clay Tarrant. Dirt Earthling. Yeah. Yep. Sure is. He was killed in the main building of the space center where he works in. And we highly suspect the guy. This is the guy they are saying did it, who is like his mentor and who we know also from childhood, even though he's a little older. He was just always around. He was the guy that got him into wanting to be an astronaut because he wanted to follow in his footsteps. Hello. In any case, we're pretty sure this guy did it. I can't exactly tell you why. I'm pretty sure he did it, though. Pretty sure he did it, though. He's a self-important ass, this guy. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with these. Inside of this container are supposed to be asteroid samples. Very important, precious asteroid samples. And I'm pretty sure they might not actually exist, or they might not actually be real, or they might not be here, whatever it is. Very important asteroid samples. And the asteroid sample collecting mission is this. We don't know. He just bandaged his eye and said it was a sty, but I'm not really sure what it is. He just looks a little edgier now. This guy. Apollo's gonna cut himself on that edge. Oh shit, all rise. I forgot, we're going straight into trial. All rise, baby. Judges. Oh. Or something? Where is the judge? Judge? Hello?
Objection!
Your Honor? Could you please come out from under your bench? There are no more bombs. Oh, okay. The last time... So, I don't know if you were there for the first trial in this game, but it was right after a courtroom had exploded because of a bomb. The trial where the bombing happened was day one of this trial. So now we are basically caught up. Go put on a suit. It's too fucking hot for a suit, man. Like, I would for the funny ha-has, but it's so fucking hot for a suit right now. It is simply unseasonable for a suit. I would be like Phoenix, like this. I would be like... Now we are fully caught up with the present. Still a little jumpy. Oh, basically, Apollo said, I'm gonna go off and solve this by myself. But, like, we're pretty sure we're gonna solve this during the trial today, so I'm not sure what he's gonna go do, this guy. He said, what if the truth I want and the truth you want are different? And I'm like, what? There's only one truth. That's sort of what we base our whole practice on. My guy, you're deviating from the ethos. You're gonna undergo key deviation, dude. You can't do that. There's a bomb in my courtroom. Mr. Justice was seriously wounded by Tonate's actions. Kind of, yeah. Yes, I do. Very well. Is the prosecution also ready? Black Quill? Certainly seen more than his fair share of colorful prosecutors. Yeah, every year there's a new prosecutor that's fucking weird as hell. I did like, I think it was at the start of this game. Or maybe the start of the previous game. Where they said, oh, like the prosecutor is this genius prosecutor from the prosecutor's office. And like Phoenix said, yeah, well, they have one of those every year. And yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Escape from the launch pad one. So yeah, the story goes, they were about to launch the second rocket mission, but then there were two explosions. One here in the second floor of the main building, one here right on the friggin' rocket, and it took out the elevator and stuff. And so our victim took our client down and across back to the lounge where they both collapsed, after which he was found dead. And there is, yeah, witness testimony that someone saw the light went out because of the bombs. So all someone could see while looking for the window was a lighter with an Earth emblem on it in their left hand and a knife in their right. And the fact that it's left hand and right, I'm assuming is going to come into play with it, like we know whether the suspect is right-handed, left-handed, etc., etc. Yeah. Two astronauts used, I guess, well, why do I bother explaining? They're about to do it, and much better than I ever could, with audio-visual aids. Could the victim climb down the ladder if he was carrying the defendant? That was the mystery that needed to be solved. It doesn't necessarily need to be solved, because we know he made it to the lounge. And they were both alive at that point. So it's very reasonable to suspect whatever happened inside of that building is basically immaterial to the case. It doesn't matter. In further investigation, we discovered an oxygen tank fragment in the lounge. Yeah, the oxygen tank exploded after they got to the lounge. Yeah. Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yuri definitely gave a false statement. The bombing happened. Candace was killed. Yeah, I mean, she was killed before the bombing, but yeah, she's dead now. He killed Detective Arm. He did. So the only person we can ask really is Yuri Cosmos. Albright said, Blackwell has a thing against the astronaut. Yeah. There's a third person in the lounge, and that's who killed the victim. I could see Simon having some sort of personal feelings about some of these people. Since his sister works with them, he probably has heard of them at least, if not met them, maybe. And if one of them is secretly an asshole, he would probably know. His sister would probably tell him. There was no third person in the boarding lounge. Or have you gone dotty already, old man? Mm-hmm. I don't fucking know. Francisca had a whip. I guess we're just upgrading to a hawk now. In any case, Mr. Starbuck claims he saw someone leaving the lounge. Yep. It is so gross. My wife saw a suspicious figure at the scene. We don't know if it's necessarily a third person. All she saw was someone standing with a knife. She didn't see this mystery person's face. He does send his hawk at people. We need to determine if a third person was there or not. Hear the testimony of one of the first people on the scene. Yuri Cosmos. Pretty sure he done it. Pretty sure he done it. I believe I've seen you before in the newspapers. Of course you have. Of course you have. For I am Yuri Cosmos, director of the Cosmos Space Center, which was of course named after me, Yuri Cosmos. Not the case, actually. Don't you have anything you wish to ask me? 7 years ago, I successfully launched the HAT-1. This HAT-1 was like that first rocket. There were a lot of problems with that mission, which left our client kind of traumatized about going back to space. Wow, that shut him up. Good job. Everyone already knows how brilliant you are. Even I am trying to hold back my tears at seeing such a great man standing before me. Okay, directly to the important testimony. Wow. He kind of knows how to deal with him, huh? Probably for the best. It sailed right over the director's head. Yeah, probably. For the best. Condensed version of your illustrious testimonial. S'il vous plaît. S'il vous voulez coucher avec moi ce soir. Detective Arm and I rushed towards the boarding lounge together. We went via the control room and peeked in from there to see what was going on inside. Is there a door? There is no window in the control room. I don't believe. I don't believe there's a window in between one and the other. So I guess I can just... yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna present the door on that statement straight up and see what happens. I went personally into the epicenter of danger, risking my own life for theirs. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, okay, whatever. It sounds like how the original mission was kind of a failure. You were trying to cover it up. You wanted to destroy the asteroid samples together with the rocket, but then they went and saved them, and so you killed them. I don't know why you would have to kill them, to be fair. Press them and draw out more information before anything else. Really? I feel like I feel like we know enough. Well, it's a short enough testimony. Let's press, sure. 6th floor. Yeah, they did say they were at the 6th floor. When did it take me to beat Lace? I don't remember. A few attempts, though. I think it was close to 40 attempts, maybe? It was definitely not great. I did take kind of like a month-long break from Silksong at some point, and then I went back and finished it within a week. So I was a little rusty, but it did take me a few attempts. Specifically designed to be used on galactic battleships. With the current state of technology as it is, it would just float about and be galactically useless. Okay, so what's the point? Your space age pogo stick. Yeah, sure.
Hold it!
I think that's gonna be the relevant one. Okay. You could have gone there from the southern corridor as well. Did you beat her already? In her haste, Detective Arm rushed ahead of me towards the control room. Follow behind her. So she went into the control room first, is what you're saying? That doesn't make sense.
Hold it!
Only you can go into the control room. No. Okay. I had to leave. Such is life. The only thing I could tell, it was a person standing motionless. Okay.
Hold it!
She gave the statement that it was too dark to see the person's face clearly. No, not clearly. The lighter they were holding illuminated the area. She said she saw the person at exactly 10 a.m. Also, I remember that. Is that... That's not in her statement? That seems pretty fucking important, guys. Why don't we write down that it was exactly 10 a.m.? My god, I was so salty yesterday because I feel like it's become more and more of a trend. I'm gonna rehash it a little bit and I'm gonna get a little mad, but it's become a trend in this trilogy, and it's been getting worse as the games go on, that your client and also random witnesses that have no reason to lie. And your own client doesn't act in their best interest, and they have no sense of priority. Like, to them, getting a bad mark on a test and being found guilty of murder ranks like on the same level of terrible. It's like you could be going down for murder if you don't tell the truth, but I have to draw out the truth out of you on day 2 of the trial to get like finally some kind of information that overturns all of our assumptions, and finally we can realize what happened. Really, on day 2. And why is that? Because you didn't want your mom to find out you had a secret girlfriend? Like, you know, like what are we doing? What are we doing, people? And yeah, it's just like a lot of the characters don't act believable. I understand they are caricatures, but within that framework, they should act in a way that is believable. You know? That's why I could see Terran, but I couldn't see who the other person was. Might not have been Mr. Starbuck. True.
Objection!
There was no third person there. There was. When he entered, there were 3 people. Him and 2 other guys. The lounge suddenly went dark and the figure vanished.
Objection!
Too easy or too hard? I don't know. Because it's like they made the testimonies way more convoluted and the people act way more outlandish, but also the deductions are way easier. They kind of serve you everything on a spoon. Hey, Belle. Nice of you to show up to work, moderator. What the hell? I bet you're hoping to collect your paycheck or whatever. He fell to the floor and feigned unconsciousness. Okay. Proof? Just for a brief instant, about as long as it takes for a shooting star to go by. Uh-huh. If you took your eyes off the scene, this third person could have escaped. Trash chute? There's a trash chute right here that is not on the map. I do the job I'm paid for. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the fucking truth? How you been? There's no security lock on that door. It would have been possible to escape that way, but I think the only way down beyond there is the elevators, which weren't working because of the fire.
Objection!
Do you have any proof? It is true, the burden of proof falls on me. That's another thing I don't like about these games. That's kind of grating on me. Is that the prosecution will say whatever the fuck they want. And then if I want to disprove it, I have to show proof. I say something, and then I have to show proof to prove it. But this motherfucker just gets to sit here and do an exercise in creative writing. Meanwhile, I have to be, like, sticking to reality. What the fuck? An inmate who used to be a university professor and lunar researcher used to say, there is a kingdom of little green men who live under the surface of the moon. Dude, that's true. I saw it in the movie Moonfall. It fucking sucked, that movie. Where's your proof this quaint kingdom exists? Southern door was a possible escape route. That is true. There's also the trash chute. They're gaslighting me for entertainment. Truly. Truly they are. Yes? Why'd you look away from the boarding lounge? Ha ha ha. There's actually another tale of bravery behind the answer to that. It was when Detective Arms saw the figure and raised her gun. Being a great humanitarian and protector of mankind, I tried to stop her. Yeah. I imagine her instincts as a detective told her they were the killer. I was unable to stop her. She identified herself clearly and then she fired 2 warning shots. 2? There was 1 shot that went in here. Bullet is missing. But there's also a bullet here. But it's from a .10 caliber handgun, which is a sort of an odd caliber. A weird kind of gun. They said very small barrel. So maybe not her gun? Maybe someone else's gun? And this bullet was found inside. So either someone fired the gun inside, or someone fired a shot from the outside to the inside.
Hold it!
2 warning shots. The detective appears to have missed on purpose. Two warning shots. There's only 1 bullet hole in the lounge.
Objection!
Damn, what's the engine on this freaking moped? Holy. This guy's going fucking crazy on the Segway. You doubt my words? Words that will someday be written down in history books. Yeah. I don't think those exact words will ever be written down in any history books. Only one bullet hole was ever found at the scene. The gun was only fired once. Was the second bang the oxygen tank exploding? Mayhaps?
Objection!
2 shots were fired from her gun, guaranteed. See, he does send his hawk at people. It's really fucked up. He's just an asshole, this guy. He's just an asshole for fun. Line up in the corner. That's why it's there. That's why it's there. Network error. Hopefully on your end, not mine. During the previous trial, a certain oxygen tank was presented. Yeah. The thing that ruptured it was a bullet found near the tank. .38 caliber gun. Oh. But we have another bullet that's from a .10. If there were only ever 2 bullets fired, then the second bullet was fired from a different gun. Okay. Whenever rifling marks are brought up for the first time in an Ace Attorney game, someone has to say the line, "They're like a gun's fingerprints, aren't they?" One of the bullets the detective fired found its way into the holographic image display. The other bullet came to a stop near the victim's oxygen tank. Well, I have one more bullet. So where'd that come from? This bullet was from a .38. So there was a different bullet that came in here from somewhere else. Not quite. No, it doesn't. 2 warning shots from a .38. That doesn't explain the existence of a certain piece of evidence from a .10 caliber gun. This bullet, sir.
Take that!
Just a little something of great importance we found at the crime scene. In a floor gutter at the crime scene. Looks like the police and prosecution both missed it. This is a 10 caliber bullet. Much smaller than the .38s. Yeah. Different gun. This third person fired at Detective Arm and Detective Cosmos with their gun. In return, the detective fired her warning shots. Looks like you've deduced my miraculous tale of survival. Deduced? Why deduced? Why deduced? Oh my fucking god. Why didn't you say that then? This is what I fucking hate. Why did Phoenix make that jump? And why did this guy be like, "Oh, you are right. That is what I've been, that you've solved my riddle. You've solved my testimony riddle, traveler." It's just why it's getting to me when it's poorly written. I don't like this case. The case with the orca, fucking incredible. I love that case. It's like, you know, yeah, to me or to anyone, because it's bad writing is the problem. It's like plot points are arising whenever it's convenient, rather than being sewn into the plot ahead of time and then triggered when you need them. It's just suddenly, oh yeah, and the guy fired at us too. Hello? That means there were 3 shots fired, not 2. You only reported 2 shots fired. You said nothing about the guy using a gun. Courtroom, you are just another witness. You won't receive special treatment here. Give accurate testimony. Yeah, see? What I really saw at the scene. What do you mean what you really saw, motherfucker? You're supposed to say that from the start. Every fucking witness in this trial. Every witness at this trial in this case, and also the previous case with the school trial, has their testimony, and then another testimony that's like, okay, you got me. Here's what really happened. Okay, I was being just a little rascal. I was just doing perjury for fun. Here's what really happened. Oh, like, come on, dude. We saw a figure standing in the middle of the room and tearing on the floor. The figure fired at us. But the bullet we found was in a grate on the floor here. That doesn't quite make sense. The person who fired the gun had to have been the defendant. As soon as Detective Arm and Director Cosmos discovered this person, they escaped through the southern door. Southern door. The one that didn't have a security lock.
Objection.
Or the trash chute also. Or the trash chute. Yeah. Okay. So are potato peelers. What's your point? Feign unconsciousness to invent the possibility of a third person.
Objection.
Nor has a gun been found at the crime scene.
Objection.
The existence of a trash chute. Okay, thank you. It's big enough a guy could go in it.
Objection. Objection.
I trust you haven't forgotten my little piece of decisive evidence. The detonator switch in Starbuck's pocket with his fingerprints on it. Yeah. They're saying he set the bombs that would have exploded his own rocket too, which is a little crazy. But yeah. Sliced a third person theory of ribbons and served it to us. Not yet, dude. It hit me. It's a .10 caliber bullet. That wouldn't do too much, I don't think. He can even pass through walls.
Objection.
Simon likes to just razz the judge. It was all in jest. Please show yourself again. How did you manage to survive being shot, Director Cosmos? I'm glad you asked. It was a miracle befitting a great history-making figure such as myself. He does have a freaking, yeah, a glorious Medal of Honor, whereby it ricocheted, thus saving my life. Huh. Okay. Maybe that's how it ended in the grate. Yeah. 1 extra star. Beginning to really feel the Cosmos is watching out for Director Cosmos. Real funny, real funny. A great man such as myself has to hide things on occasion, no matter how much it hurts. It is the plight of the truly great. It may be hard for this generation to understand. Okay.
Hold it.
It's only a 3-panel testimony. Have an hour or two, I could tell you about the Hat 1 miracle. Let's not do that. It's fine. Okay. Absolutely nothing burger. Got it.
Hold it!
Hmm. No reason why the animal world shouldn't hear of my greatness. God, this fucking guy. This fucking guy. First, your testimony. What happened? Guess what happened next? Okay. Control room to the east. The east? The control room is to the north. No? Am I going crazy? Is this where the map is? Hang on. Control room is way to the fucking north.
Objection!
I guess that's not a contradiction. Never mind. I guess cardinal directions don't matter. What is going on?
Hold it!
While you were in the control room door. That shit is northeast at best. A miracle befitting it. Yeah, whatever. If it ricocheted, what? It would have gone this way, not that way. Is that what you're saying? What we're trying to say is, if it hit you and it ricocheted and it landed somewhere nearby, y'all were probably coming in from here, not here, because we found the bullet in this grate, not any of these grates. I guess we just present the bullet again.
Objection!
Okay. Great men like me tell a lie. Have you ever heard of such a thing in all of history? Again, guy perjuring for fun. Let's see what the reason is. He's hiding. They came from the south door. The figure fired a gun at you from this position. The bullet would have traveled in this direction. And then on ricocheting... Oh, we found it here? No, we didn't. That's not where it was. Don't lie. Unless I've severely misunderstood the layout of this place. I guess I don't have a map that's quite as detailed. There's a door here. And then to the left of that door is the Walk on the Moon exhibit. And he's okay, here's the trash chute, here's the Walk on the Moon exhibit. It was on this grate, not this grate. Phoenix is lying? Why?
Objection!
Don't tell me you've forgotten. The witness, yeah, it hit his medal.
Objection!
So, I'm not saying... Oh? Well, how can you explain it? You were in fact not in the control room. You were coming in from the south. Your head must have some use other than housing that bird's nest. You talking to me about my head being a bird's nest? You talking? Yeah, he's actually in prison for murder. He was sent to jail for murder 7 years ago, but they're still letting him prosecute. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure the arc of this game is going to conclude. Actually, I don't know if it's going to conclude with this or not. But when Athena was a little kid, she testified in, I believe, his trial. But they didn't believe her or something. And so they like her testimony wasn't accepted or whatever, and he was wrongfully sent to jail for murder. And I believe the next and last case in this game is going to be about redeeming him for some fucking reason. Like, we care about this guy. He's been nothing but an asshole to us. Edgeworth, by this point in game 1, was, like, nicer. He was kind of, like, building some kind of camaraderie. This guy has been hostile the whole fucking time. Mm-hmm. Why is it favorable? He snapped out of his chains. I relish the chance to cut down a great man. He's all about being a samurai also. He also doesn't have a sword, but he keeps acting like he does, and everyone around him keeps acting like he does. So I don't know what's going on. Was looking into the room from the southern door. Okay, why? Because the person couldn't have escaped through the southern door. Killer couldn't have escaped through there. No. I'm wagering you killed him earlier, left through the control room, came back around, and then entered this way. The little bullet, whatever. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it was something else. The western door required print recognition. Yeah. The only way to get through there was Director Cosmos' fingerprints. Yeah. No one could have escaped. Unless, of course, they used the trash chute. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but outside, they're playing some freaking music. Also, yeah, apparently him being sent to jail for murder started the Dark Age of the Law. I'm not sure why. You're covering for the defendant, isn't that right? Yeah, all for the love of your men, whatever. Would have meant there could have been a third person. All I wanted to do was protect Starbuck. But it's the sentence. What do you mean? Just murder, I guess. Just be in jail. Is this finale or fourth case? This is fourth case. We're gonna start finale today and finish it tomorrow. And then it's spring break next week. For how long? I'm guessing forever. I don't know. The capital punishment exists in this world, so maybe they're just waiting until they're gonna execute him. I don't know. Dahlia Hawthorne, you know, Phoenix's ex-girlfriend Psycho from the original trilogy, was executed by hanging. They don't even do, like, the injection or electrocution. Hanging. So, it's pretty fucking... They don't mess around, these people. It's all funny ha-has and caricatures, but then they fucking hang people to death. Just put you out there in the courtyard like a hawk of ham until you're dead. Much more cheaper too. I guess so. The defense's argument, the possibility of a third person, has crumbled. Oh, hello raiders. Thank you very much for the raid. What the fuck? I tried to fill in your name and instead it just gave me... What the fuck is this emote? Carl Smile. Okay, apparently this is the Twitch global emote. I almost gave a shout out to the emote Carl Smile, if you can imagine that. How's it going? Hello raiders, welcome in. I'm playing Ace Attorney. I'm going through all of the games and all of the Ace Attorneys until I'm done with all of them. Shout out. What happens if I shout it out, actually? Doesn't let me do it now. Last scene playing gun. Okay. How was stream? Wait, what were you playing? I forgot to check. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Hell yeah. Dude, those games are hard. I tried playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. It was hard. I couldn't cut the mustard. It's a sick game. Sick in like in the bad sense. You didn't finish? Well, you can have fun without finish. This is the perfect time to try and turn my thinking around. The third person had no way of escaping the scene. What if one of the people at the scene was this third person? Fighting is a bit better. Okay, the fighting was pretty complicated. Oh? Said he and Detective Arm rushed to the scene together. What if one of them reached the scene before the other? If that person entered the lounge, they would be the third person. Yeah. Doesn't appear to be any room for argument against these claims. I'm thinking the bullet that hit him in the chest was probably actually the one with the bullets from the detective. He fired at her. No, but then why would it be in the freaking vent? It doesn't quite make sense.
Objection!
Phoenix, come on. Wow them. There's still one possibility. Run. Yeah. Oh, what are you having for dinner? What are you having for dinner? Make me hungry. There's one and only one person who could have escaped from the scene. That person would be the first person who arrived on the scene. Second person to arrive came by the southern corridor. Homemade burgers? Fuck, that's good. Nice dinner. Enjoy it. Think about me when you're having those burgers and how I would like to have them. It's gonna make them taste better, I promise. That's why the first person fled from the room, using an escape route that was accessible only to them. The control room. Yeah, who was the person who could have escaped? This motherfucker.
Take that!
Alright, thanks for the lurk. What are you claiming here? Is this judge really truly fucking surprised that on Phoenix Wright's fucking, what has it been? 5 cases game 1, 4 cases game 2, 5 cases game 3, 14, then really no cases game 1 of Apollo. But Phoenix has been in 1, 2. This is a 3rd case actively doing. 17 case history with this judge that we know of. I don't know how many trials they've done together off screen. Phoenix is accusing one of the witnesses of murder. Is he truly surprised? Of all the people who were at the scene, only the witness could have escaped. Director is the only one with the authority to open the control room, after all. True identity of the third person is our current witness, Yuri Cosmos. Well, he seems shocked enough about it. Everyone's real wowed about this. Look at Phoenix pointing. Poindexter. Do you know there's people whose last name is actually Poindexter? That's fucking crazy. It's like one of the top execs at some fast food chain. His name is Poindexter. I don't know why I know that. Poindexter's just an actual fucking last name. I assert that Director Cosmos arrived at the scene before Detective Arm entered the boarding lounge alone. saw a suspicious figure who was actually Director Cosmos standing in the lounge. She fired those 2 warning shots. Yeah, magnificent shot. Warning shots fired from the enemy ship. Prepare to intercept. Why are we role-playing Star Trek? But my ship will not go down to anything less than the ultimate weapon of evidence. Yeah, we can just check. Was this ricochet from a 10 caliber or a 38 caliber? He would have turned and shot at her. Evidence on director's bodies, but different kind of relevance, yeah. The mark that you received from the third party will be all the proof we need to prove you were the one there in the lounge. Against this bullet, yeah.
Take that!
38 caliber bullet found on the floor of the scene didn't hit the oxygen tank. It hit Director Cosmos' metal. If we are that ricochet mark on the metal analyzed, I'm sure the caliber will match up. It will prove you are the third person we've been looking for. Losing altitude. All hands abandon ship. Okay, I think we've... How far into this are we? 1 hour? I think we've already got him. You've got it all wrong. Huh? What? The engines have started again? It's a miracle. I'm not going down yet. Okay, so that's not how it exploded. Accept your fate and tell the truth. Come on. The device he has. A telephone? Oh, he's on a Segway. You know, like a mall cop? Or a Silicon Valley bro. Cosmos revolves around me. It doesn't. Yeah, see? It's a Segway. Why does he get one? Because he's an important man. Will someone please stop the witness from spinning? Please, pretty please, with a cherry on top. He's pretty fucking annoying. Oh my god, he's seeing stars. Get it? Get it? Get it? Do you fucking... He's seeing stars. Do you fucking get it? Oh my god. Sorry, that's a minor point to get hung up on. But it is truly the straw that broke the camel's back. You have to understand. While he was twirling, I took the liberty of running an analysis. 38 caliber bullet. Yep. So you're the murderer. This is just a misunderstanding. Is it? He's gonna lie some more. Okay. Okay. He's gonna lie some more, I guess. It's whatever. Oh, we're saving already? We're only 1 hour in. Pretty generous. Pretty generoso. New possibility has been presented by the defense. Yes. The great pioneer of space development is revealed to be just another fabulous cur. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you very much. We have one question for the likes of you. Shall I send you off quickly or very quickly? Shall I jack you off quickly or very quickly? It's true, I was there in the boarding lounge. I got there before Detective Arm, and when she arrived, she fired a warning shots at me. She fired first, is what you're saying. But you shot too. On the way around to boarding lounge 1 again. Yeah. Came up behind Detective Arm and pretended to be the second on the scene. Okay. Are you still insisting you did not kill the victim? Oh, of course I am. When I arrived at the lounge alone, I saw the true killer. The great Yuri Cosmos was a history waking witness.
Hold it!
Yeah, sure. Okay. Third person was you. I saw the person as well. If I were the killer, why would I lie to cover for Starbuck? Said I was in the control room to invent an escape route for a third person. Where's the proof? At 10 a.m., yes? Yes. I was on the 4th floor helping with the evacuation effort. Any member of the staff you'd like, they'll corroborate. He has an alibi for the time specified. You arrived on the lounge after that. So is he not the killer? Do we have? Oh my god, it better fucking not be you, girl. It better not be you, girl. Or the robots? It's not gonna be the robots, surely. Better not be you, girl. Girl, not you. Couldn't actually see their face, but it was definitely the silhouette of an Earthling. Okay. Okay. This person you saw, let's hear about it. Okay. The true killer inside fired a gun at me. I hid to avoid getting shot. When I tried to get another look, they had vanished into thin air. Okay. Control room door should have been shut tight to the killer. So he vanished somehow. Well, it hit Terran's oxygen tank, yeah. Cosmos went in, killer shoots, hits the tank. Somehow. That's a pretty fucking poor shot. Because keep in mind, he was on the floor, like so. And the oxygen tank is on the side of his arm, I believe, right? Yeah, the oxygen tank is on the side of his arm. And if he was laid out like this on the floor, in front of this, he was laid out like this with the oxygen tank on this side of his body, and this person shot from here, and instead of shooting here, they shot here and on the floor and hit the tank on the other side of this guy's body. That's almost impressive. Then the killer disappeared and the director went into the boarding lounge. Detective Arm caught up and fired those warning shots. Okay. Could have went down the trash chute. I've been saying this. The real killer was gone. Starbuck out cold on the floor.
Silence.
He's gonna be like, he didn't vanish. Oh, a fibbing leech such as you can be lauded as great. Great man is always misunderstood in his own time. He must remain true to himself, even if those around him don't understand. It's such bullshit. Wow. Because it was Space Boy himself. But if he had a lighter in his right hand and a knife in his left, where was he holding the gun? Oh. Till the other person vanished and I entered the room. Okay. We're not surrendering. We're cross-examining. Oh, okay. Emotion analysis time. Exactly what we like to see. Prepare to hand over the secrets of your heart. So try to enter the lounge. The true killer inside fired a shot at me. A little angry, very surprised, very frightened. That seems correct. I hid to avoid getting shot. Yeah, okay, a little angry, surprised, very, yeah. They had vanished into thin air. You don't seem surprised about that.
Got it.
Did I get it straight up? Dude, I'm getting better at the emotion thing. Me, a recovering sociopath. I don't know if you can recover from being a sociopath. Maybe you can, though. Who knows? I don't know. But why are you... Yeah. I can only think of one reason as to why you weren't surprised. Must have had a good idea of where they went. You just learn how to act normal. But you're still a sociopath. Then it does apply. I am getting better at this emotion thing. Uh-huh. You were right there. You went into the room to check on Mr. Starbuck and Mr. Terran, yeah? If you recall, right after I entered the lounge, Detective Arm came rushing towards it herself. Was Detective Arm the killer then? She was the killer. You hide. You hide away when she shoots. And then you go in. She's like hiding around the corner. She comes out, comes back in, shoots at you. Sort of Benny Hill-ass murder discovery. One more emotion. It had vanished into thin air. I was near the elevator side door. No emotion about that, which seems normal. The Launchpad 1 door. Why are you sad about that? Control room door. Should have been shut tight to the killer. Or not sad, or you're afraid of the Launchpad 1 door. Because the great Yuri Cosmos afraid? Oh, what basis do you have for that, outlandish? Yeah. There's something about the Launchpad door. I'm thinking it is 11 p.m. Okay, the thinker clock. Okay. Only down to 70. More Prestochango? The fuck is Prestochango? Director Cosmos wasn't surprised the culprit suddenly vanished. He knew where the killer had escaped to. Talking about the door to the Launchpad made him uneasy. Yeah, Launchpad 1 door can be opened another way. See, this is what I mean about they really spoon feed you every deduction. He was not surprised. They're like, okay, let's review. He was not surprised that the killer escaped, and he seems uneasy about the Launchpad 1 door. Now, kids, can you point to where the killer escaped from? That's right. It's the Launchpad 1 door. Oh, thank you for the lurk.
Take that!
I mean, no, a disaster. Okay. Okay. This is still the only logical answer. Was it a robot? What's the lowdown on this case? Oh boy. This guy, astronaut, was killed after bombs detonated in the sort of launch pad place. There was a bomb that detonated on this second floor, followed almost immediately after by a bomb detonating on the rocket itself. Both the astronauts left and got across the Launchpad 1 corridor, which this area was all on fire at the time. They went across, and then they entered into the lounge area where they collapsed onto the ground. This, by the way, is the guy that died supporting my guy, which is the victim. This is the victim. This is my client, the defendant. They think he killed him. They were also carrying this little pouch, sort of container thing, with asteroid samples, which had recently returned from a space probe. I don't know why they had them on them and why they were bringing them up to space, but whatever. This is the layout of the area. So they came from here, collapsed onto here. Then, the director of the space program walked in, was shot at, so he hid away behind this door for a while. Then he went back in. Killer was nowhere to be seen. We said we are just now figuring out he probably went back into Launchpad 1 corridor, which is crazy because you need fingerprint access to get in there. And then a detective showed up, thought he was the killer, so he ran into this control room which only he has access to, went back across and then met up again with her and was like, oh my god, there's bodies here. And then our guy was stuck with the blame for it. That's kind of where we're at right now. I don't see how the killer could have opened that security lock. So wait, he could have easily gone past that security lock. Yeah. Just use the knocked out guy and put his hand. Yeah. Yeah.
Take that!
You think the victim did it? The victim? Killed himself? I don't think so, no. Mr. Starbuck was lying was lying unconscious there in the boarding lounge. Anybody could have easily gone past the security lock by using Mr. Starbuck's prints. Yeah. The guy that's being blamed. Nah, it's never your client. It's never actually your client. It's always some freaking thing. I'm just really pissed off with this case in particular because I feel like the writing is pretty bad. And it's everything bad about Ace Attorney wrapped up into one case. So I'm having a rough time getting through this one. But I'm told the next case is better? Question mark? Kind of better. Being told it's got something to do with the culprit's escape route. Time to go to sleep. Loser. Okay. Fucking look at this motherfucker. Having a circadian rhythm or whatever. Okay, good night. Sweet dreams. Sleep so good. You're a blessed boy. Sleep so good. I'm changing tack really quick because I don't want to send you off in a bad mood. Fuck, yeah. I'll stay weak and have bad luck. The true culprit is scraped into the Launchpad 1 corridor. No, the camera cut off right after they went in, sadly. The camera just goes, zoom. Yep. Camera's running on backup power, but the power cables were damaged. Yeah. Because your grind child is watching from the gallery, it doesn't mean you should try to show off too much, Grandpa Baldness. Damn. Of grandchildren. Yeah. Let's talk about grandchildren at a later time. Director Cosmos, could you tell us more about when you entered the lounge? Pretty please. With a cherry on top. More emotion. Very sad about that. Or, sorry, very frightened. I went into the lounge, a little less frightened. Trepidation, I get it. That's when Detective Arm appeared from the elevator side door. Big surprise. And then, the detective shot at me. You seem less surprised that she shot.
Got it.
Yeah. Dude, I'm getting good at the emotion thing. Psychopath is working. Psychopath vibes is working. Why were you so surprised when Detective Arm found you, and again when she fired? I see it now. No, it's a little salute. I learned 07 in friggin' IRC chats. I was in there with the OGs. Even great men such as myself have ordinary human feelings. Our bodies are bound by the forces of gravity and emotions. Even a great man such as myself experiences surprise on occasion. Yeah. But rather what you were surprised by. But you were less surprised that she fired. You were not... you were more surprised when she came rather than when she shot. In fact, you were most surprised by simply being found than being shot at. You were conflicted about whatever it was you were doing there. Hide under your desk. Is that hiding? Do we call that hiding? No, not yet sunk the battleship. I'm getting less Discord now. Damn. You don't have Nitro? Damn. Okay. He was doing something suspicious around that door. Maybe he was some change between before he came to the room and after. Okay. The door before Director Cosmos arrived. My main idea is this thing. This is probably some sort of manual override in case this fails. This is horizontal before. It's vertical after. Yep. There's literally only 3 things in the image. The fingerprint reader, the door, and the big dial. Good eye. I've been playing Ace Attorney for 41 straight streams. I know what things to look out for at this point. I really do have an answer. You've pointed it out. I have. This thing right here is what changed, sir. The answer is this knob. Me when I'm flirting in the UK. Please take a look at this footage. So you can see it's horizontal. Sure is. The knob was vertical. Sometime between before Director arrived and after, someone turned this knob. Sure did. Is it something like the door was open and he closed it? I admit it. I did turn that knob. That knob is a safety lock meant to keep the launch pad in place. Oh. It's for when the launch pad spins. Because apparently the whole thing, by the way, I don't know if we have the overhead view. We do not have the overhead view. These side buildings rotate around the main building and can, like, they build the rockets in here and just move the whole building and launch it out of the building in the launch pad. So I wanted to move the launch pad away. Yeah, there it is. It detaches and it just straight up moves the whole building. Crazy shit. That's the safety lock. Maybe they were transported along with the launch pad to the launch site. They could have escaped through that corridor. Okay. For I'm about to give history-making testimony. Sure, sure. More emotion vibe. Okay. I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. Why are you a little happy about that? I feared there might be more explosions. Overwhelming fear, sure. So I had to cut the launch pad loose. The only escape the killer had was through launch pad 1. Why are you a little angry? Why are you a little angry about that? That area was a sea of smoke. Where on earth could they have gone? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say, why were you a little happy here? What is up with that? I accidentally moved the chat in the other window. Pinpoint. Why are you a little happy about disengaging the safety lock? You're reluctant to do so, and yet when you did it, you felt some joy. As if you were very pleased with yourself. Yeah. Analytical psychology, apparently. It's a science, you guys. It's a hard science. I have to believe you were trying to fulfill some hidden agenda. Maintaining the agenda is top priority. More or less a pro at guessing, yeah. Well, that's pretty much what you do, but you're really good at it. Would never ever tell you, so there. Wow. How could you doubt a man with such great intensity, intelligence, and integrity? He's got the 3 N's. He really doesn't like him, and I have to imagine it's because his sister has told him something about him. How much older is she? Hang on. He is 28. And she is 37. 9-year difference. That's not so outlandish. Yeah. You're not the kind of man that will be glorified in the annals of history. Not for greatness, anyway, unless you consider greatest barefaced liar an honor. It's gotta be something along the lines of, like, you know, it's got to be something to do with the Hat 1 incident, where the rocket was really fucking rough, and it really should have. It was a miracle that it landed. They call it a Hat 1 miracle. I wonder, did he, like, ignore safety stuff? Was just like, yeah, whatever, fucking send it, you know? Like, do what I tell you type thing. And then when it, against all fucking odds, 1 in a million, it came back okay and the guy didn't die. He was like, alright, I'm a hero. I could see that. And here's a thought for you. Immediately following the bombing, Launchpad 1 was on boarding lounge 1 side. Okay. The director didn't move it. Okay. Let us leave him to indulge in his lies and war games to his heart's content.
Objection!
This makes sense. You can't deny someone turned that knob. Yeah. The other side of the building also spins. I've been saying. You know, immediately after the thing happened, give back to Apollo. Nah, he's taking over. He's taking over. He's like, I got my badge back. I gotta use it. Otherwise, the patina on it won't build up. If we chase down the truth of this issue, we just might find where the killer escaped to. Yeah, okay, so the museum side rotated to the launch pad side. And then the guy escaped into the museum. And then you fucking rotated them back, you idiot. Stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is. Apparently that was a real harsh blow to Phoenix. Sure, Director Cosmos must have moved the launch pad. Yeah. Right where it's supposed to be. Not to move the launch pad away, but to bring it back to where it was supposed to be. Launch pad was at the launch site before the incident. They were about to launch, so it makes sense. And be right where the police found it. But how do you explain the astronauts walking through? When our Astro Wanders made their escape, because they went through. But there's also a replica rocket on the other thing. So could they have somehow been on the other rocket and not known it? There's no fucking way. Deductions of the actual facts of the case are in direct contradiction. Taken with body doubles after the incident? No, I don't think so. What if I told you that the two astronauts never set foot inside the launch pad area, but instead went to another place? And what if when the director moved launch pad 1 back, it was not from the launch site, but from another place? What, Narnia? Come on, dude, just say it. To switch it with another place. The other fucking side of the building. The answer comes clear as day. Well, I wonder if it's the other square thing highlighted.
Take that!
In the past, the Space Museum used to be Launchpad 2. All the same features, including being able to be moved around. Yep. Rocket the astronauts boarded was not the one in Launchpad 1. Literally? Actually? There's a museum around it. What do you mean? This is why this case fucking pisses me off. What do you mean? Did they not notice the museum all around the rocket that was supposed to take them to fucking space? Did they not notice the fucking aliens in the saucers? What the fuck are we talking about here? That is not... Why is everyone acting surprised? I am so disappointed in this case. I am so disappointed in this case. Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum have already switched places, yeah. The astronauts entered the Space Museum from boarding lounge 1. Okay. Set the bomb on the rocket. The real rocket, yeah. Kids are asleep. Oh, dang. Hello, Raiders. How are you? This is the hot channel to raid today, gang. You're in the cool kids area only, where I am fucking disappointed as hell in this case. This Ace Attorney case has let me down at every corner. How are you? Mass Effect. Y'all are still on Mass Effect? What are you doing in Mass Effect these days? What are you getting? What, like, are you 100%ing it, or are you just kind of taking your sweet time? I feel like I've already asked you exactly this question, and you said taking your sweet time. There's no fingerprint recognition system on that door, because it's going into the museum. Hard to say, really. I mean, if you keep at it, you're just gonna 100% it, you know? Monkey typewriter stuff. Eventually, you're just gonna. Someone other than Mr. Starbuck could have easily planted that bomb. Indeed. Culprit snuck into boarding lounge 1. I'm so fucking disappointed in this case. So fucking disappointed in this case. Because the big twist in this case, get this. This is the space center, okay? The victim was an astronaut. These buildings around the space center are both originally Launchpad 1, and this used to be Launchpad 2. So they both are able to move. They can detach from the building and then be moved to the launch site. Okay? And they can also switch around with each other. So Launchpad 1 normally is here, and the Launchpad 2, which was turned into a space museum, was over here originally. The big twist is the astronauts thought they were boarding the real rocket that they were going to go to space in, but actually it was the fake rocket that is a copy of the model from 7 years ago that is in the Space Museum. And how the fuck is that the twist? Because, guys, there's a whole ass space museum around that rocket. How do you, as an astronaut, not notice the museum around the rocket that you're born in? Fuck, man. This case is disappointing me so hard. Every bad thing about Ace Attorney is in this. This is my least favorite case by far. And it sucks because it's like Apollo's big backstory case or whatever. They're doing him so dirty. Yeah. Also, a suspicious figure. Audio tour signs. Exactly. They're like, okay. I guess we're just big on glass display cases in launch pads these days, huh? Okay, I dig it. Must be a pain to replace those every time the rocket blasts off and shatters everything into a bajillion pieces. Also, the rocket is a copy of the model from the last launch 7 years ago. The one that's in the museum. Did y'all not change the rocket at all? Keep in mind, that rocket was terrible and almost exploded, Challenger style. So, you'd think they would have changed it a little. Did they not notice? It was slightly different. And that it had like information plaques on it, I imagine. God fuck, man. The only good thing is that this lady is in this case and she's kind of bad. That's the one saving grace. Made their escape into the Space Museum. And then switched the two launch packs back without realizing the killer was inside the Space Museum. Imagine that. I got my eye on you, bucko. Yeah, dude, hold me back. You know how to handle a sword and handle it well. He's like, astute observation. This shit would be laughed out of every other Ace Attorney case. Every other. I feel like these two, this game and the next game, have a different writer than every other Ace Attorney game, I'm pretty sure. It's not Shu Takumi anymore, right? And you can kind of tell a little. I'm a seasoned warrior who has cut down many a prostitute.
Silence.
Yeah. No better than a rusty sword. Yeah. There might be a record of it. At this point, Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched with each other. Yeah, the corridor beyond the door should be the one that belongs to the Space Museum. Well, it does have a tube behind it, so that'll help. There's an image of the Launchpad 1 corridor. And this has a big 1 on the floor. This is another thing I don't like. It's very Dora the Explorer. It's like, do you see any difference between the two photos? The number on the floor. And then it's gonna give me the other image and be like, this is what's different. And they're gonna be like, point to the thing that is different. And it's like, holy shit, like you haven't just spoon-fed it to me like 6 different ways. Yep. Where is the thing?
Take that!
Like, do you even need me to play the game? Should I just play a movie, dude? Just play a movie. Yeah, this case is not great. I don't get salty often, but holy shit, they're letting me down with this. Autoplay is right there. Yeah, but if I do it with autoplay, I don't get an achievement when I finish the case. Not that I particularly care about the achievements, but as long as I'm doing this marathon, might as well. Doesn't look like a 1, does it? Is it a 2 and not a 1? Corridor to the Space Museum. There we go. Because the explosion didn't occur in the Space Museum. So then why are they walking back all freaking messed up like? Was it just because he was kind of knocked out because someone slipped him some drugs? We know the 2 astronauts escaped from the Space Museum. Mystery from the previous trial of how they got down the ladder is clearing up. Simply took the elevator down from the Space Museum. Down into, by the way, what I have to imagine is the full... Okay. What I have to imagine, right? They boarded this rocket, which means they went from the lounge into the museum corridor, into the main floor of the museum, into the elevator, which is, I don't even know if I have a photo of the museum. I don't. The bastards, the cowards, don't want to give me a photo of it so I can prove how fucking awful. I assume the gift shop is right here in the museum corridor. It's where I would put it if I was planning this place out. So it's like, you know, they walked right past here into the main fucking floor, which is full of display cases. It's full of... Oh, fuck. I'm so pissed off. I'm seething. I'm seething. Literally seething. They went into the elevator of the Space Museum, up a floor, and boarded the fake rocket. And then one of them started to faint. And so they left, took the elevator back down into the main floor of the museum. By the way, what time did this happen again? Okay, the explosion, I don't know exactly what time it happened, but they saw the murder happen at 10 a.m. Which means presumably the boarding of the rocket, feeling faint, leaving the rocket happened shortly before then. Which means the museum was open. You telling me they didn't see the guests going around? The guests with disposable fucking cameras and audio guides looking at shit? Did they think they were the scientists setting shit up? Your full-time job as an astronaut? You graduated? I'm pretty sure you need like a PhD to be an astronaut. I'm pretty fucking sure. I don't know how it works in this world, but I'm pretty sure in our world you need a PhD to be an astronaut or something like that. You tell me these people didn't see the museum was open? Oh, fuck, man. You'd think someone would have noticed an event of this magnitude. Everyone was down in the basement shelter when the launch pads were swapped back. Yeah, because of the explosions. So, when they left the rocket, guests would not have been there, presumably, because the explosion caused everyone to go down into the basement shelter. Sure. But when they boarded the rocket? Hey, we cleared out. Bye-bye. It's gonna be like, okay, it's done. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That is kind of cute. The bye-bye is kind of cute. Everything else? Look at the friggin' down the sleeve shot on this man. I'm so pissed off at this case, man. Time to deploy my ultimate weapon. Galactic engine ignition. I can't even enjoy this fucking whimsy right now. I can't even enjoy the whimsy. I can't even enjoy that whimsy right now. I'm not in the headspace for whimsy right now. Imagine if like in an Agatha Christie novel, Murder on the Orient Express, they're like, oh, they thought they walked into the bar car, you know, the restaurant car, but actually it was the cargo car. They looked completely different, by the way. If that was the payoff at the end of an Agatha Christie novel, can you imagine that? Can you? International outrage. One of them is at the front of the train. The other is halfway through the train. Also, by the way. So we managed to retrieve you before you came to any bodily harm. Apparently. I admit it's true. But why did you do it? Had prior knowledge of the switch. He was unaware of his surroundings thanks to his medication. Yeah. It's fucking very different. Okay. Are they about to explain why? Yeah. Okay. Mayhaps. They've still done a lot of things wrong. Mayhaps there is something they're gonna do to justify this. Perhaps I treated you too harshly, Ace Attorney. Why he switched the two launch pads to begin with. I will say my hands were tied. Keep my men from getting caught in that blast. So you knew the bomb was gonna happen. Without my badge of rank, I'm nothing. Oh, he's gonna go back to... Yep. Don't get it. Director, why did you do all of that? You never meant for the launch to go ahead, did you? You tricked us. I can't tell you the reason why, but I had to do it to protect the Space Center. Wait, does this... No, I guess it's fine, actually, because it was in the main building. Also, we still haven't seen this lady at all. So I have to wonder what's going on with her. I will get you into space again, my boy. The dream is still alive. Yeah, yeah, sure, whatever. The dream is still alive.
Silence.
He's like, no, it's not. Fuck you. Yeah, wooden dinosaur skeleton kit. 6 fossil shark teeth. Yeah. Can you imagine also? Because I have to imagine there is some sort of signage in the main building that's like Space Museum this way, and then the buildings were fucking switched, and in this building there was a bomb, by the way. So like, were they just sending people into the bomb building? Except that the launch pads really were switched, and if there were a third person at the scene, I suppose they could have escaped. Okay. I have yet to see proof of this third person's escape via the Space Museum. Also, something that doesn't really make sense. They say, okay, Launchpad 1 door lock. Is there a photo? Yes. So this is the Launchpad 1 door lock. The lock is very obviously on the main building side. Not on the side building side, okay? This is where the door is. This is where the fingerprint reading device is. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, which building is on over here. The fingerprint door is here. It doesn't matter if it's Launchpad 1 or Launchpad 2. You need to fingerprint to get through into whatever building is there. Unless, depending on whichever building is connected, it automatically knows whether to ask or not ask for fingerprints. Starbuck, you will spill everything you know. Okay. If you don't, my blade shall feast on your blood. Wanna die in space? Prepare yourself. Now, you know violence isn't the answer, Prosecutor Blackquill. Champion of righteousness, Bobby Fulbright here. In justice we trust. Is Bobby Fulbright gonna be the big bad? Hang on. Hang on. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Lawyer. I hope I'm not too late. Tried to hurry, but I ended up helping a little old lady cross the street. And then I had to break up a cat fight. I tell you, justice sure is a full-time job. Is Bobby Fulbright going to be the big bad? I don't know why I just had that feeling. But it's the way he... It's just because he laughed. You know, he laughed his normal laugh. But instead of Fulbright, it was question mark, question mark, question mark. And that alone gave me like... It's just because he was off screen. But it gave me the little inkling of who is this? To be like slightly suspicious of him, to, you know, snowball into, is he quietly actually really fucking smart and running everything from behind the scenes? Because this guy isn't, this guy's been introduced to this game. He didn't come with us from the previous game. Previous game, it was Emma Skye that was the detective. The defendant isn't the culprit, and I came to make sure that justice is served. Okay. I always thought you were a bit touched in the head. But have you finally succumbed? Nope, but it looks like you've succumbed to this phantom of yours. Open your eyes and let the evidence of justice uncloud your judgment. What evidence? Yeah. Feel a lot better now that I've been able to get that off my chest. Yeah. So what is it, detective? Something that will prove Mr. Starbuck innocent. It is indeed the lighter that the real killer was holding. Space Museum's cleaning robot picked it up. As the victim Clay Terran's blood, along with his killer's fingerprints on it. Oh shit, okay. That's really useful, actually. You bet. Mr. Starbuck is totally innocent. Okay. Whose is it? With pleasure. Okay. Where this lighter was found. They escaped into the Space Museum, where they dropped it. If you're the killer and you didn't know the buildings were gonna move, aren't you kind of fucking going crazy when that happens? You're like, oh, I'm going to space now, I guess. They're launching me. Killer left through boarding lounge 2 and made their escape.
Silence.
Couldn't he not have dropped the lighter in the Space Museum during that span?
Objection.
No. Director Cosmos testified right after he saw the mysterious figure with a lighter. He went into the lounge and found the unconscious Starbuck. No. Mr. Starbuck's fingerprints were nowhere to be found on this lighter. He wasn't the one holding it. It was planted by the killer on the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. Frankly, Prosecutor Blackquill, I've been worried about you. You've been chasing this phantom for 7 whole years. I understand your urgency because tomorrow...
Silence.
What? Statute of limitations? Or the anniversary, or what? In light of the fact it was impossible for him to have committed the crime. Not guilty. Hi, sorry, I'm just checking. I'm just checking my notifications. Y'all, the courtroom does have a confetti dispenser, which is only for when someone is found not guilty. We pulled it off somehow, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Thank Apollo for me, too. You all are the best. Okay. This guy with his cone head ass hairstyle. Court is adjourned. It's over. But I'm assuming we're going, like...
Objection.
I guess not. Case is not done. More trouble. Simply isn't possible. Something's wrong. Because this guy's obsessed with the case from 7 years ago, which he was found. This prosecutor, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, he's clapped in irons, this guy. He's got, like, not even handcuffs. He's got full-on fucking chains. This guy is in prison for murder. 7 years ago, he was convicted of murder. They're still letting him prosecute for some reason, but he is in prison for murder. 7 years ago, he was found guilty of a different murder that happened in the Space Center. And apparently, he thought this case was his big chance to, I don't know, find who really did it or whatever. I think he was falsely accused. We're pretty sure he was falsely accused. Yeah, I guess he's just now going crazy about it. Fulbright, what were the results of the fingerprint analysis? Oh yeah, whose fingerprints? Well, I was in a hurry, you see. He doesn't know. Kind of got carried away when I heard the prints were in Mr. Starbuck's. Who do they belong to? were found to belong to Athena Sykes? What? Athena Sykes? Just finished proving this lighter could only belong to the killer. I don't know how they got on there. I know I'm not the culprit. Well, yeah, that's not gonna... That doesn't really hold water, girl. Girl. Built up our argument piece by piece, brick by brick. How could it have led to this? Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I feel like Fulbright is actually... big bad. Fulbright's gonna be big bad. For all we'd fought for, the truth had turned cruelly on us to accuse Athena of the crimes. Somewhere, somehow, everything had gone terribly wrong. We had stumbled over the edge of reason and into the jaws of twisted darkness. Yeah. Fulbright's very front and center. I would have expected someone else to be in the middle of that photo. All right, well, that's the end of this case.